Okay, so alright, let's begin. How many times have you been looking for a video that makes you improve your aim? Like I saw tons of videos out there where basically they tell you to edit few settings and then all of a sudden you get the aim of a pro player. Okay, it doesn't work like that. I think it's pretty clear. I mean, if you ever tried that, you know that it's not working. I don't see you playing at the World Championship or something. So, first of all, I would like to point out that improving your aim is sort of a long-term process. It might take, like, effective improvements should take around 21 days. Because 21 days is that lapse of time that your brain needs to create, requires to create an automatism. An automatism is basically an automatic information that leads through your body, and in this case we need it to improve our muscle memory. The muscle memory is the one that we apply to the end when we move the crosshair to the target. Alright, so it's basically like when you go to gym to work out and increase your muscle size, get stronger. It takes time, and it's nothing you can do like all of a sudden for a lot. Like, you can't go to the gym after having break of 3 months and pretend and expect to do something like 6 hours of training hard and the day after being super strong, right? Like, it doesn't work like that. You need to do a little bit of exercises periodically, and then over time you increase it, and over time your muscles get bigger. So it's the same with the brain. You stimulate some parts of your brain, some abilities, a little bit every day, and then after a specific amount of time that depends, is subjective by person to person, your muscle memory improves, and so does your aim. How do we do that? Is actually, I mean, theoretically it's simple, but I think the biggest struggle for the people is being constant on this one, because it might be boring, might be unrewarding. Like, you might have this feeling, but you need to carry on. If you really want to improve that, you need to carry on with specific training. All right. So first of all, you need an aim practice software, which I use Aimtastic, and you might know that. This one, you can get it on Steam. It's for free. Like, is pretty complete and is really good. I've been using this one for 1 year by now, and I really love it. I mean, I also noticed that luckily a lot of, like, many other people on YouTube found this software useful, and I really like it. I mean, that's how it is. It's really great as a software. And then you need your own game. So in your own game, like in this case Black Ops 4, what you want to do is to measure your aim in the game, because you want to transfer your sensibility from the game to Aimtastic. Because once you practice in Aimtastic, what you get is basically an improvement of your muscle memory with that sensitivity, which means that if it is the same in Aimtastic and it is the same in Black Ops 4, you will improve in Black Ops 4 eventually. So in this case, I just started a custom game. I wanna measure the exact sensibility that I can transfer to Aimtastic. And how I do that? Well, basically, I pick a corner. I hope I remove the bots. I'm not sure about it. Okay. So, what I want to do is to pick up a corner, like a line on the ground, for example, and then measure exactly in centimeters, or throw key points on your mousepad, the exact length of my mouse doing a turnaround 180. Alright? So, for me, it's about 10, 12 centimeters. I'm not going to measure this right now because for me it's kind of useless, but I mean, I already did it in the past. So, I can say it's about 12 centimeters. You have to measure it like precisely. And once you have your sensibility, and remember, in the game, you don't have to be in ADS while doing this. You need to be in the hipfire mode. So this is your flicking email, because usually when you play the game, like let's say you have a target here, okay, and you are aiming here, your eye can see that target. So what it does is to flick in hipfire mode and aim. It is what usually happens. It also happens that while you are in ADS shooting at someone here and you have a target like here, so you shoot and then you flick to the target in ADS. But that is consequently, that is at the same time improving as soon as you are improving the hipfire sensibility, because we are talking about two different sensibility. I hope to not confuse you, but alright. So hipfire sensitivity is the one you have to improve, and you will automatically improve also the one in ADS. What we're going to do now is to transfer the sensitivity to your aim software. What you can do here in Aimtastic is moving the sensitivity here. I never tried if, like CSGO, it says that it is 3.5, but I'm pretty sure that if I go on CSGO and I set 3.5 of sensitivity, like my crosshair will go super fast. So I wouldn't trust these parameters. You need to set the DPI you have and regulate the sensitivity over here. Alright? Where is it? Okay, let's close it. So, Aimtastic wise, because this video I wanna focus it on Aimtastic, as I consider it really good. First of all, as I said before, you need 21 days to create an automatism in your brain, okay? So, an automatic information. What I suggest to start with is to go for bigger than smaller, tracking, reaction test, for 10 days. After the 10 days, you don't need a reaction test anymore, but you need the reflex. Alright, I will show you real quick. What are we talking about? So, this is bigger than smaller. You have a big target at the center, which is basically the starting point. Once you start it, red targets will start popping up randomly on the wall. Your objective is to click them all, and it will get faster and faster over time. At the start it's really easy. Around 200 clicks it gets harder. Around 300 clicks it gets nearly impossible. You don't need to try hard too much for this one. I mean, your main goal here is the one to flick around the targets, because if you can realize, if you can notice, you can actually improve your flicking ability by doing this. And you just need to do something like 20 minutes per day of Aimtastic, which is a short lapse time that helps your brain getting stimulated over time. And after doing this one for about 5 minutes, you go on the next one, tracking. Tracking is the tracking ability, is to stick on a target that is moving. Do not rely on the standard settings you have here. Difference than bigger and smaller. Standard difficult is correct. Is really accurate and appropriate. But on tracking, you need to do. You need to change. Where is it? The max speed and the 8 moving. You don't really need to improve the tracking ability on vertical moving targets. I mean, we don't really see people floating when we play, but I mean, if you do go for that, in Black Ops 4, I can tell you, is not really needed, alright? Okay. So basically, once you start clicking this red target and you hold the button, the red target will start moving, and your goal is to stick on the target, which might be a little bit difficult initially, but I mean, in a bunch of minutes you will get used to. Alright, so this is what you have to do. Stick on the target for about 30 seconds. You do this over time, your striking ability improves. Alright, next is the reaction test. So I just woke up, so let's see. You press the big target and you wait for the big target to turn on. You need to do this 5 times. Oh man, so late. That was good. Alright, you get an average time on the left. Your average time will not improve for the first 10 days, not even for the first 20 days, but it will improve of about 10% after a good time, like 1 month. Alright, because you don't need to do this exercise just for 21 days, you need to do this exercise forever. The more you do it, and the better it becomes. It's like going to the gym, as I stated before. The more you do it, the better it becomes. Alright? So, I stated out before that reaction test is good for the first days, and I would suggest 10 days, because then you will need to get used to the reflex test. This is the hardest. It is normal to fail. You don't need to freak out if you keep failing it. Like, it's totally normal to fail it. But once you nail it, you can actually say, I'm becoming a really good player. A really good player with my aim, alright? So, reaction test. There are targets. Okay, now I'm talking. So, there are targets popping up at this speed. You need to flick around the targets and click them all, okay? Your hit chance, wait a bit, the settings are not appropriate. Duration 60. I don't know why I don't have the custom one preset. Okay, I usually go for duration 60. You can also set a duration higher than 60 to start with, and then gradually decrease it. Okay, it is the amount of milliseconds that, no, not milliseconds, but I think like every 600 milliseconds it is going to move the target on another position. I need to flick around on targets continuously. I will just do a bunch, like I'm not really feeling it. Alright, so that's pretty much it. If you do this 20 minutes per day, no more. Why no more? It's important that you don't burn your brain out, because you are going to get the negative effect otherwise. You do this for a small amount of time every day, and in about 21 days you will feel the difference. In about 1 month, 2 months, you will feel another level of difference. So that's how it works. That's how you work on your brain. That's how you stimulate it. That's how you improve your muscle memory, which is the key of your aim ability. Alright guys, I hope to have been like useful with this video. I hope that I hope to see comments at some point of people saying that they actually improved their aim ability. However, I'm looking forward to make some more new videos, not aim related but game related on Black Ops 4. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time. Alright guys, there we go. I wanted to add this extra information because it's actually required for this kind of video. And I'm sorry to have forgotten this one. When I first recorded the video, I will make sure that nothing like this will ever happen again. However, as you can see, I'm still editing the video, and this is how the idea came up, because while editing, so watching again the video, I was like, okay, something is missing, so better add that in some way or another. It's basically just one information, and it's about the fact that I want to make sure that while watching this video, you can understand that it is a video made with the purpose of improving your aim, like for helping you out on improving your aim system. It's not a video that will help you out to find your correct sensitivity, because you need to find your correct sensitivity, the one you perform the best with, before to actually start improving it. And in order to find it, you need to pass through a process that is really simple and easy. It will take about 30 minutes up to 1 hour. It depends by how fast and lucky you are on finding your correct sensitivity. In order to do that, you need to get in a custom match. You need to look at the wall, select one specific point of the wall, and walking around the area, like left to the right and vice versa, up and down. Alright, you keep walking and you keep sticking your crosshair to that specific point on the wall while walking, and you increase or lower down your sensitivity until your crosshair perfectly sticks to that specific point while you walk in all the directions. Okay, it will take couple of minutes, right? 30 minutes up to 1 hour. It depends by you, really. Don't give up about that, because it's really important, because you first need to find your correct sensitivity, the one you perform the best with, before to actually start improving it. Because if you start improving your aim with a sensitivity that is not completely appropriate for your for your current muscle memory, let's say that it will just take longer time to actually improve it once you start the correct process. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Actually, if you need a video about how to find your correct sensitivity, in case it's not really obvious in the way I explained it, I will be super glad to make it. I just need a feedback from who actually watches this video, because I don't want to spend time on something that is absolutely extremely obvious, maybe, I don't know. So before to actually start making these extra things, these extra contents, just let me know and I will do it immediately. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and sorry about forgetting this little thing.